Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about a really fun topic. If you're a bride that loves to DIY, then this video is for you. We're going to talk about where you can get inspiration and just some things that are great to DIY versus some things that maybe you should leave to the professionals.
So where do you find inspiration? I feel like everyone's like, Google, blah, 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 blah. No. Basically, TikTok, Reels, Pinterest are the biggest things right now I even find inspiration from in just seeing all the different videos that creators make. So there's floral videos, how to create different bouquets, there's how to decorate a cake, all of these different things, how to save a budget and like make sure that you have everything that you need to create for your wedding. Now, it just depends on how long you want to take because definitely these videos are consolidated. I think Reels are now only 30 seconds long, and TikToks are about a minute or so. So just making sure you can always reach out to those people that are doing the videos and ask them like, how long did it actually take? But if you have the time to do it, I definitely recommend it. Or if you're just looking to learn a new skill, definitely great places to go. Pinterest is kind of like the amazing world of search engine besides Google to find different things. So I would say that's the best place to find inspiration. There's another thing is creating a vision board, figuring out what your color palette's going to be. Those are all great things that you could find on Pinterest. And figuring out what colors that you like. So take the time to research. There's a lot of great content on YouTube too.
Yeah, I think vision boards have a great benefit for people that are maybe a little bit more indecisive like me.
Yeah.
So you can print things out, put them on your vision board and sit with them for a few days. So they're somewhere that you're seeing all the time, you're looking at, so that you can really settle with it and see if this is something that you're gonna love long term.
Right.
If this is a choice you really wanna commit to for your wedding. Because a lot of times you'll see something on Pinterest and you're like, that's amazing, that's so cool. But then you kind of think about it for like a week and you're like, I don't think I really want that, or that's just not practical. So a vision board is great for inspiration, but also for practicality.
Yeah, and then on that topic, especially on Pinterest, there may be a lot of styled shoots that you may see that are like absolutely beautiful. And then the florals or the decor is like $20,000. So take the time, read their blogs, figure out who the person is that created the shoot and figure out what is that cost. Because a lot of times it looks easy to do or you want to implement it in your wedding, but it is very pricey, especially when it comes to florals. I know Lindsay White Studios in LA, shout out to Lindsay. She's been doing incredible reels on her Instagram. So check it out. She did one on how to make an arch. Pretty amazing.
Cool.
So yeah, check it out. The next thing is setting a budget. Okay, so you want to DIY, you want to go to Michael's, you want to go to the floral district, wherever you're going to be getting these things at. Figure out before anything, set a budget. Which things do you want to DIY? You don't probably want to DIY making crazy cocktails, right? Don't probably want to DIY making the food unless you're a really, really amazing chef. But think about those things of what you can take on. A lot of great places, even Etsy, you can kind of get some of those things. But set a budget, figure out which things you want to DIY. If you know a calligrapher or you're taking a calligraphy class to write all the names out, budget in how much time it's going to take you to do that, and is it worth it? But also get a quote from a vendor to make sure that it equals out. A lot of times, these people already have the equipment to do it, as opposed to you going out and buying it, maybe messing up, not figuring out. So put a 5-10% buffer in your budget because it could cost you more.
Yeah, and don't try and learn anything that is too difficult. You don't want to overwhelm yourself or give too much time to one certain thing.
Right.
So if something is, you see something that you want to do that's really valuable for you to have, but it's going to take you a long time or a long time to even learn it, maybe just leave that to the vendor.
Yeah.
It will save you time, which ends up saving you money.
Yeah. And there are some vendors right now, especially during this time, that are teaching classes. Cross and Dot Studios is teaching a calligraphy class on how to write out certain content. So you can take a class. There are all these different things that you can do, but I would say probably the one or a couple of things that you can DIY are some floral bouquets for your wedding party. Also, you could DIY calligraphy if you're really good at it. And then also making the wedding favor gifts as well too, or printing out invitations. Invitations are a really popular one too.
Yeah, I've seen where florals are a really popular DIY option, because if you choose to do this yourself, you can buy flowers in bulk from somewhere like Costco.
Yeah.
And get huge boxes of beautiful flowers and put them together yourselves. This saves huge on cost.
Yeah.
So this is a great option if you're willing to kind of put in the time to learn how to do that.
Okay, so you're about to get ready, have your wedding, you're probably a month out and you're like, should I get a planner? Should I not get a planner? And you decide, you know what? I'm not gonna get a planner because I have 14 bridesmaids and I have a huge wedding party and I have a big family that can help me do all of these tasks. Totally fine. But just make sure you assign people with certain tasks, meaning you give them a deadline of when everything's due and you let them know like, hey, my wedding is March 3rd. I'm gonna need everything done by February 28th. Just so you give yourself a little bit time to get everything prepared and you're not overwhelmed the day of. In regards to your wedding party, making sure that all hands on deck saying, hey, I didn't get a wedding planner, but I would love for you guys to help me with these tasks of getting things set up. So I'm gonna send you guys some items to help me the day of, or show up to the venue an hour to 2 hours before we get dressed. But I think the biggest thing is holding people accountable. This is your wedding. You're gonna have to treat it like it's a business, and making sure they adhere to those deadlines.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about is making sure when you're assigning people to tasks, especially if you're hiring loved ones to do DJ or photography or anything like that, make sure you test everything before you hire them. I know you're like, oh, my cousin is a great photographer, they're up and coming. Make sure they're up and coming for your wedding, because the worst thing you'd want is the pictures to not be what you wanted. They come out dark, they come out blurry. So do a test trial for that. Do a test trial for their music. Make sure they have the right speakers, microphones. A lot of times they like, I got you. Yeah, make sure as critiqued you are for vendors, you are just as critiqued when it is coming to hiring your loved ones. Okay, so you've decided the items that you want to DIY. You have your budget, you have your wedding party, you've created a list, you've assigned tasks. So how do you keep all these things organized? My favorite tool is Trello. I use it in my business. You can create tasks, you can send them updates, you can keep it organized. I have a wedding party list there. I even have a list for the months of your wedding, like what you should do. So making sure you understand what you put and also what they are assigned to. You can also use an Excel spreadsheet too, which is super simple. Another thing that I rarely see people do is make it fun. Like, have fun. You're planning your wedding. Doesn't have to be stressful. I see a lot of times people include their fiance in planning. Like, what? My fiance is helping me. Yeah, because you guys are getting married together. So it's important to make sure they are just as knowledgeable about everything that's happening as you are, and make it fun.
Yeah, I think that's really important. So I have a question for Trello. Can you invite people to, is it kind of like Google Docs where you can share everything with everyone?
Yeah, so it's kind of, if you look at Trello, it's kind of like playing solitaire. You have all of these little sections and you can say like 10 to 12 months or 6 to 9 months or 1 to 2 months. And then from there you can create color labels and separate everything. But you can invite everyone to this board and they can see a full picture of what the wedding planning's gonna look like for you. And then assign people to different boards. So it's not like everyone's doing everything. You assign them to their one board And they let you know, like, hey, I've completed this. It could be green, or no, I'm in progress. It could be yellow, or hey, it's in red, so I need help. And so you check back on that weekly, or schedule a weekly call with certain people if you're trying to narrow things down right away. All of those are great things. You can also even keep all of their contact information in a Trello board, hotel details. So as you're starting to build your wedding website, you have all of the details there.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining the Cine Story. As always, if you have any questions, please comment below. We love getting questions. We love hearing from all of you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Diana. This is Jillian. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.